Played about 17 minutes the other night, but once again will come off the bench.
Believe it or not, folks, these guys have won 14 of the last 19 games against the Knicks. Noel coming off a 13-point outing.
Hachimura goes right at Julius Randle. Alex Len throws it down.
Yeah, Len is 7-footed.
I think it's more of the defensive assignment against Westbrook and Bradley Beal. Julius Randle, 2 for 2 from downtown. They credit him with 2. Well, he might have had a third in there. Beal drives and lays it up and in.
Mentioned the creativity by Beal.
You and your team at HSS for stepping up in a major way.
Thank you, Rebecca. Julius Randle. Now.
Good afternoon, Knicks Nation. Welcome to a new edition our next edition of Sky Hoops Knicks Dreams. And today we will be chopping it up as it relates to the Washington Wizards. Obviously, the game that we played previously, which you're seeing on screen now, and of course, the game that's coming up tonight. So with that being said, I want to welcome my main man, Notorious B.U.G. Give us your take on what you saw on Tuesday night between the Knicks and the Wizards.
I saw a good run for the Knicks. I'm going to tell you, I got to be honest. You can't jump up and down when you're beating a team you're supposed to beat. That team you were supposed to beat, and you did what you were supposed to do. Problems. I know y'all love Mitch to death, but 16 points, 4 assists. 16.4 assists. What is it? 6 rebounds. He's doing good, but again, they never worked on his footwork. He doesn't have a low post game. I told y'all to watch when he come back, and he not once put himself in the position for a low post dominance on anybody, where he could turn around, dunk it on them, shoot a jumper. And again, as Frazier said in the fourth quarter, this is a game that you can show us that you can hit that 3. Ain't even try. As far as everybody else played their game. You did what you were supposed to do. I'm not jumping up and down and reaching in garbage cans for pom-poms for this game. And with that, I have to throw it to my boy, birthday boy himself, Bill Zadamas.
Thank you for that handoff. And I'm gonna just finger roll it in honor of myself, my birthday, which was yesterday. I'm old school, so I'm gonna give it to old George Gervin finger roll back from the 70s. The game, you were right, Notorious. That's a game that we should have won, and we won it, and we did it in grand style. I'm expecting the same thing tonight, and without any of the overblown hoopla about how well everybody did. With regard to Mitch was, he was the same. He wasn't, he was seemingly the same as when he left, which is a good thing. He never had a inside low post offensive game, and we didn't expect him to come back with one. He feasted off lobs and inside with his aggression, he was able to get some putbacks. He got some fouls called on him, and he had a decent game. We played the way we were supposed to play again, and we got the dub. So right for now, I'm satisfied with the win, and again, looking forward to tonight's win, and then we go from there. And with that being said, throw it up top to my man Santana.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page. Obviously, we went out there, we won again. We're supposed to win, and that's a good thing. I think it's important that they did win this game. And the reason why I say that is because sometimes teams will play down to competition as opposed to playing up to competition. And in this instance, they didn't play down to the competition. They played, the best that they could, and the best that they could, ended up at one point in the game or a couple of points in the game, a 30-point margin. Now, of course, we don't want to get too excited because we know Wizards are not a team that is projected to be, competitive or at least, playoff bound or anything of that nature. So we got to keep it in context. But nonetheless, we did see some good out of this. Of course, Randall was still, he was stroking that 3-point shot, As a matter of fact, I anointed him the franchise because that's who he is right now. You know what I'm saying? That's who he is right now. In terms of Mitch, you're absolutely right, Notorious. His footwork is not there. I don't think that he's going to develop that during the season. Perhaps in the summer, if he decides to work, on that, he can develop that. One thing that was very obvious, and I was sitting, I was there at the game, and we were sitting behind the Knicks bench. So we were up a few rows, but behind the bench, and we could see instances when the Knicks had the ball, he was in the low post. He's not really positioning himself either to get a rebound or to even when he does have possession of the ball, being able to go back up in a way that you're balanced and you could get that shot off. If anything, he's pinning himself right underneath the basket,
or behind the basket.
Yeah, behind it. And so by the time he gets the ball, the defense is already up on him. It's not like the defense is going to give him the space to, work his way in. All he has to do, he grab that rebound, take a dribble, step in the paint, and then go up and hit your bank shot, your layup or dunk. We know that he can, get the alley-oop. Okay, we know that. But not every team is going to let you get that alley-oop, especially a team that plays defense. So he definitely needs to work on his low post game, his footwork specifically, so that he could be some factor in the low post. But with that said, I'm going to, pass the rock over to Notorious to get additional takes of what you saw and what you think moving forward.
I think you're right. I think that where you were sitting, you could see it good. Exactly what I was talking about. That's coaching. That's not the play. Don't get me wrong. I like Mitch. Mitch has a lazy mind sometimes, but all in all, he wants to win. Teach him the game. He has a body type that he can do this if they teach him the game. As far as everybody else is stroking. They're doing what they're supposed to do. Trade rumors that come and go. I don't think that the Knicks are going to do anything earth-shattering in the next 2 hours. So I think we're going to stay with the core we are. We may get to the second level, we may not, and we're going to work this summer. That's my take on it. So I'm going to give it to the birthday boy once again.
All right. Thank you for that. I'm still in old school mode, so I'm shooting a set shot this time. I'm going to take a set shot from right inside the 3-point line. All right,
All right, IQ.
Inside the 3-point line. Not out. It's not a three. It's a set shot for the swish. Okay. So again, I agree with Santana with regard to Mitch. He's just things he's gonna have to work on over the summer with regard to footwork and all of that. Maybe working with Kenny Payne for a full summer. Maybe we'll see some improvement come next season. I am still hearing these rumors about them, trying to pull up on what's the big guy's name, Drummond, and I hope I don't want them to do that. I don't want them to do that now. There was a time where I wanted it, and especially if we have to give up. I don't want to give up any of our pieces to get him, and no more than maybe one number two. Like if they'll take a number two and send them over here because we have the money. If that can be worked out like that, then fine. Other than that,
if you can get rid of one number two, you're right.
Yeah, but Mitch, it was just good to see Mitch get a lot of minutes. He played 31 minutes, and he did 16-12, which is, if he can do that every game, that'll be enough. And then we can have Nerlens and Taj come off to spell him, sometimes for defense. He was decent out there. One who I was more impressed with, who had consecutive 20-point scoring game, is Burks. Burks seems to be becoming a little more comfortable out there, especially when they put him in there in his point guard role, his newly assigned point guard duties. He is steady out there. He's steady out there, and he's taking jump shots when given to him, and he's knocking it down, and he's come up with back-to-back 20-point games. And now the other B's, Mr. Barrett, he had him another good game. 21 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. If we can get that consistently out of him, we'll be on our way. The third B, he only dropped 10, but he did he's always out there primarily for defense. So he did hold Beal and Russell Westbrook under their season numbers, because I think
19.
He held them well, so he did his job out there. Let me see. Beal had 22. Westbrook had 14. He had 14 with 12 assists. If we're going into that game and you're telling me Westbrook is going to get that, you'd take that. And if you were told that Beal would only score maybe a maximum of 22 points, we would take that. So we did some good, making it a little harder for those two to get the numbers that they was putting up a few games ago. They're putting up, one will have 40 and the other one has a 30-point triple-double. So good thing that didn't happen in that game, and hopefully it won't happen tonight. On our end, franchise did his thing. I'm with you with that new nickname. U-Haul franchise, whatever we got to call him, he is carrying the Knicks basically, and he had help from where's 2.0 ain't around. Okay, he had help from the second option by committee, as 2.0 wants to call him. Peyton was back in 21 minutes, 7, 5, and 4. So he's still coming back. And Quick only had 12 minutes, but in those 12 minutes, he dropped 14 points. That's the type of Quickly we should get used to seeing. We shouldn't think of him as a starter, which we don't. Think of him as a starter and getting 30+ minutes every night. No, not yet. You're not ready for that yet. Tibbs basically played certain guys a lot of minutes. He had 4 players he gave him over 30 minutes. And then he had Burks had 29 minutes, Noel 17. And other than that, we did what we were supposed to do. And going down this stretch, these are the games that we're gonna, if we're expected to get them, we got to get them. Based on the experiences that we went through in the first half of the season, now we need to see if we've learned from those experiences. The things with the referees and all of that. Now, one thing that we're going to have to calm down with is talking about the referees. We gotta slow that down. I mean, we can do it, but they shouldn't do it as a team. They shouldn't do it and getting fined and all of that. Calm that down, because sometimes these referees can be a little vindictive. And then come playoff time, when we're not getting any calls, then what are we going to do there? So we calm that down. Let the chips fall where they may, and we will be A-okay. And with that being said, let me throw a little side pass, basic, over to my man Santana.
So yeah, I agree, especially with the point that you made that this is an opportunity, or these type of games are an opportunity for the team to learn from and build on. You know what I mean? Because when it gets into a blowout like this is a great opportunity for a coach to really start running even more plays as opposed to letting them freestyle and stuff like that. Because that's an opportunity to learn how to execute plays. So, those are the kind of moments that you got to take advantage of as a coach, because you know that you don't get as many opportunities throughout the season where you're blowing out a team or being blown out, to be able to get your second unit guys in there, get them some minutes, and get them to understand how to execute plays. Quickly, again, he's a little trigger happy, but if you limit his minutes, then fine. You can limit his minute, and then of course his role is going to be primarily to score. Okay. Right. We all know he's not a point guard. Maybe somewhere down the road he developed that, but in order for you to develop that, you got to have that court vision, and I don't see that in him. I don't see court vision for setting up his teammates. I see court vision to call a player over to set up a pick so he could get his shot off. So that's a level of growth that he needs to develop, because it's hard to teach vision in basketball. You know what I mean? But it's not hard to kind of teach a player, okay, if you got a double team, then that means somebody's open. So you got to keep your eye open for, passing the ball to the open man, or on a breakaway, when you get the rebound off the defensive board, look down court, because you may see somebody down there where you don't have to dribble. Those are few things that you can teach. But in terms of overall vision, some players have it, some players don't. Right. Some players have it, on paper, but not naturally. He doesn't have it naturally. I don't see that in him. So
Ball does. Huh? Ball does.
Oh, listen. Ball is definitely one that he sees the floor. You know what I mean? And that's important. When you have guys that can see the floor, I think that can become infectious. It can. But if you don't have guys on the team that see the floor that way, then of course that part of your game may not be developed. Now, in terms of the point guard position, Elfrid, obviously started. He was a steady hand, and Burks backing him up was a steady hand. That was the right move, because in the previous games, Tibbs had quickly starting or being the first point guard off the bench to relieve Elfrid, and it never worked. Now, defining his role as a shooter. Okay, we could define your role as a shooter, and that's fine. We're going to limit your minutes, because we can't just have you shooting the ball. That's all you do when you're on the floor. That can't be the only thing you do on the floor. You got to be able to see your teammates, because it's going to impact chemistry. If every time you're asking somebody to set a pick, yo, Nate, come set a pick for me. And every time that you set a pick for me, Nate, I'm shooting the ball. After a while, you're going to be like, yo, feed me. Give me a shot. I'm picking it,
right.
Picking and rolling. Right? Go ahead, brother.
That's right.
I want to pass the rock to you as an example of what should be done. I'm going to pass the rock to you, and you take it from there.
And I'm going to catch the rock and don't even put it on the floor. Go straight up, because that's what you're supposed to do with it. Either get fouled or you get the point. I agree wholeheartedly with you. I think that Peyton is coming back. I think that Burks is becoming the magic man. They got to look down court, though. I noticed that in there, that they had some easy baskets that they didn't throw the ball down there. And that's something that should be run and run and run till they get tired of running it. Easy baskets win games. Another thing, foul shots. We were terrible. I was watching the girls' game, and they were hitting all their foul shots. So how you figure that they can hit all their foul shots and you can't? You're both the same, except one's a woman and one's a man. You're both the same. They practice. And we got to start practicing where we can hit foul shots with our eyes closed. You got to do that. If you don't do that, you're going to lose the close games. You can blame the refs all you want to, but if you're not hitting foul shots, you're not going to win the game. Mm-hmm. And that's just a fact.
Yeah.
And our problem is we were terrible. We were terrible at shooting the foul shot.
No, we weren't.
Excuse me?
We weren't. I mean, we still need to do better than we did. We 21 for 24. Missed 3 free.
No, we weren't 21 for 24 because we were watching them miss. We were all watching that game, man. They were missing.
I'm looking at the stats. I'm on Dream called me up and told me to get the stats out.
Who padded the stats, man? Dream?
We did better than they did from free throw. We shot 87%. They shot 80%. They had
they did bad also, but they were expected to do bad. We were expected to win that game hands down. Yeah. And we did what we were supposed to do, but we need some work. Like you said, that's the kind of game that you work on plays.
Definitely.
Plays that you can't work on in another game. Plays that you can't really follow through in practice. That's the game to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about IQ. I keep telling y'all from the beginning, IQ need to come off the bench and be a scorer. He's from the Earl Monroe game. You shoot 100 every quarter, you hit at least 25%. That's the Earl Monroe College. And he seems to be one of those guys. Give me a pick, and I'm going to shoot the ball.
Well, his minutes were given to him so he can do just that, and that's what he did. The dude only played 12 minutes, but he had 14 points. So
he did what he was supposed to do in 14 minutes
with points. Yeah, so that's good enough. Now,
but don't give him the point guard assignment because you can't take that.
I don't think we're gonna see him playing no point no more, especially Alfred.
Well, Rose is back too.
Rose is back tonight. Alfred's back. And if something should happen where one of those guys are not playing well, I think we'll see Burks out there at the point before we'll see Quickly.
Absolutely.
And we should either that or we're gonna have Tibbs drug tested.
Either that or we're gonna have to get the bone collector from the Rucker.
It's funny that you mentioned. I was looking at a video of him today.
Yeah, I was sharing some of the old Rucker stuff.
Okay. 2.0. Uh-oh.
He's gonna pull out something out the closet.
Uh-oh. What's he got?
Something out the closet.
Rucker. That's back from your playing days?
No. There you go.
I was the athletic director of Rucker High School.
You could have just went along with it. You could have told a fabulous story about how you dropped 50 on George Mikan.
We had to pull the tape out for that one.
Oh, yeah. How's everybody doing?
Good, man. Good.
All right.
You, man.
You right?
The show's always better when you're here.
Notorious, you riding the wave? Are you a believer today or what?
I'm not a believer. I'm a believer in hard work. They need work, man. I'm not happy with just the first layer of the playoffs. I'm not happy to be there. You always be grimy and ready to win. If you're looking just to get to the playoffs, we got a team that just get to the playoffs. Now, what we gonna do in the playoffs?
Listen, my sentiments exactly. When we were coming out of that game the other day, I was talking about how the good teams don't let nobody come back from 30 down like that.
No.
They outscored us 33-23 in the fourth quarter.
Those are the things we have to work on, my brother. Those are the things we have to work on. Killer instinct.
Yes. But are you ready to give my man this J, though?
I'm ready to give him the bully ball, but I'm not ready to give him the J. He was still missing the threes.
Yeah,
he needs to come inside. If he come inside the threes and shoot twos, he can have his J back.
You have his J back? Okay.
Right.
I mean, I'm not looking at the J as a jump shot. I'm looking at the J as providing us with the best that he's got.
Then
There's
I, and I,
no second option. There's not. But he's giving me his 20 points, his 5 assists, his 6 rebounds. Okay. He even got a nice block against Russell Westbrook.
Russell, yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, that was nice. I don't get me wrong, man. The kid's doing this thing. Just stop shooting threes.
Right. So until he stops doing that, he don't get the J back. And when he has a good game, we can call him Bully Barrett. All right.
Bully Barrett, double
Bully
B.
Barrett.
Yeah. And the Killer Bees, they did their thing.
Well, 2 of them did. Well, I mean, based on your standard, Bullock did.
Bullock
He had 10 points.
Digit numbers.
He got 10 points. Yeah.
And Burks and Barrett 20 and 21 respectively. Isn't that what we want?
Yeah.
That's what we want.
Consistently, because now when they play the tougher teams, that's when we need them to deliver. When we play the lesser teams, yeah, we expect them to beat them. We expect them to do well. But when we play against the better teams, that's the true test of where they are.
I think the two teams that we lost to shows you where we're at. Truthfully, we were hungry enough to want it that it hurt us to lose, but we weren't hungry enough to think before we made the plays. So you can blame the refs all you want to, but there was things in that game that we could have won both of those games, the overtime and the other game against the Nets.
Oh, you think the Nets game was closer?
I think the Nets game was closer than you think, and I think they wanted that game. I think that at the end there were certain plays, including the last play, that we just didn't think it through.
No.
I mean, 101 Park. What happens when you get caught in the air with the ball? You release the ball, make the ref think the man hit it out your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Then you pick it up and shoot it. You don't carry it down and go back up with it. That's a walk.
Right.
That's mental.
That was a mental lapse there on U-Haul.
Absolutely.
Franchise. What are the other titles that we're going to give him, Santana?
Get on my back.
Get on my back.
Get on my back. You know?
Hey, you can say what you want to, but Bully Ball is helping them.
Yeah, listen, Randall is showing a complete package.
Yeah.
In his game.
Yeah.
Mid-range, 3-point, taking you off the dribble. You're seeing a full repertoire there. He's just picking and choosing his spot. What I'm seeing in Randall right now, the game has slowed down for him, and he's just picking his spots, man. And he's just letting it flow. He's letting it flow, man. Every now and then, yeah, he may force a shot here and there, but overall, his complete game, he's covering every single area that we need him to cover.
Well, understand once you get to the playoffs, everybody is watching films, and his reverse to his left side is what's vulnerable for him.
Right. No, and I definitely expect it to get tighter. As I said in previous episode, this second half of the season, more teams are going to start to try to focus in on him and game plan against him, and other guys are going to be open to take advantage of it. Now the question is, who's going to step up from the others to be able to provide that consistent backup to Randall? That's the key.
Burton Bully Ball.
Yeah. We got to see it on a consistent basis. That's the key. That's the key.
Can I ask a question? What is consistent for you? He's averaging 15 points. He's averaging 4 assists. He's averaging 6 rebounds.
Who's that?
He's averaging 18 or 15, whatever it is. Every time I see him, he's putting up 20 points. So I don't know what the real average is because I'm not looking at the stats in front of me. But what do you want to be consistent? 25 points a game?
Okay, let me answer.
Go ahead.
So when you're going up against elite teams, that's when we need you most. That's when those points really count. That's when those stats that you just cited really count. Yeah, we can put all them stats in a game against a lesser team. But the key is, wait, let me finish. You asked, I'm defining. Well, you could disagree, but let me finish. The key is for them to be able to step up, especially when we play the higher or the tougher competition, because that's when we're gonna need them most. That's the consistency that I'm looking for, because that's not what we see. We'll see on and off, on and off, on and off. And I understand they're growing, they're learning, they're trying and stuff like that. But the key is you need it consistently, especially against the tougher competition. That's what I'm talking about. Stats are going to be what they are. But where you really need them is in those games. That's all I got to say. Go ahead.
Okay, so just to answer to that, what I'm saying is consistency and averages. See, in order to average 15, it's not one day you hit 5 and another day you hit 20, because that's not going to be an average of 15. An average of 15 is that you are between 15 and 25 in all your games. That's what an average is.
I know what average is. That doesn't mean anything to me. That doesn't mean anything to me. You can use that if you want to in your calculation.
If it's not that he's scoring his regular numbers on the, what is consistency?
I already defined it.
Okay.
You don't have to accept it, but that's okay.
I give you better consistency than that. I don't care if you don't score the whole game. The last 4 minutes of the game, when you do nothing but score and you win the game for us. All right, we got players in the NBA that are like that. We know the last 4 minutes they closing the game out.
Well, I can give you guys Barrett's line. Mr. Barrett averages 17.3 points a game. He averages 6 rebounds a game and 3 assists a game.
Thank you.
And he averages 34 minutes a game.
Thank you.
Yo, you remember we use the term empty stats, right? Empty calories. Take that into the equation. Take that into the equation.
Empty calories are not going to get you 500.
No. You can patch your stats against the worst teams and not play at a high level against the good teams, and then it averages out. We know how to fudge numbers, bro. We're not talking about that. You could define it that way, but that's fine. That's your definition. What we're talking about is them being able to deliver against the better teams.
Hey, Bill. Hey, check this out. Bill.
Yo.
Remember my man that played with me, Sweet Lou?
Yeah. Lou?
Do you know any other Sweet Lou in the NBA that play like that sit out in the fourth quarter?
NBA?
Yeah. You know any other Sweet Lou in the NBA play in California?
Oh, Lou Williams?
That's right. Same name, same hair, same everything. Close out the game. And that's what I'm talking about. I don't care if you don't score the whole game. If the team keep it close and you close the game for us, you my man. That's consistency. We know you're going to close out the game. Just like when you were rapping, you closed out the concert.
Shut it down.
There you go.
Yeah, we could use consistency in whichever way we want to define it. But the key is, are you delivering when the game is on the line? Especially
and that's the fourth quarter.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's the take on that. That's no knock on Barrett alone. That's anyone on the team.
Absolutely.
Including Randall.
Absolutely, because Randall has made some mental errors that have cost us games in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. And he's won us game too.
Absolutely.
He's won more games for us than losing for us.
Let's put it this way. He's consistent at being inconsistent.
Oh shit.
I don't know. I think he's more consistent than that.
Okay.
No, he's our most consistent player.
Yeah,
He's
the
our
most.
most consistent player, but the whole team is consistent at being inconsistent.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Listen,
That's true.
you know, on top of everything else, they're still 22 and 22.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so they're consistently 500 team.
We're better than last year, absolutely.
Oh man, no, and you know what? All of that stuff about closing out the game, that's what Randall was supposed to be. He was brought here to be that man, and he did not do that for us last year. He's doing it now.
Yeah, yeah.
No, now he's carrying the team through the game.
That's it.
You still need a closer
Others,
because you're gonna burn them out eventually.
Yeah. That's the concern.
bugs.
And going back to what we're saying, we got what 2 hours left. There are no earth-shattering trades that's gonna happen with the Knicks.
Don't need them. Sorry, not this year.
I'm sorry, but we do need them. Unfortunately, we're not going to deal with it until the off season.
Right. We're gonna plug those holes in the off season. That's what I feel like is happening. They might prove us wrong in the next 2 hours. I mean, they might.
I doubt it. Nothing earth-shattering. Nothing that's going to shake up the Eastern Division.
You mean Lonzo?
Right. Lonzo Ball is still out there now. But
Nothing that's going to shake up the Eastern Conference Division. Not from the Knicks. The Knicks are going to be the same team. And unfortunately, that only guarantees the first level playoffs.
And fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not sure about that because coming into the season, we weren't thinking we got a playoff team. It was only after a few games that we looked at it and said, whoa, these guys are pretty good. And then we said, whoa, these guys are damn good. Oh, these guys probably win 37 games. And we started talking that talk. But to me, like, yo, hold it back. We're going to be okay. But we're not going to win the championship. Yeah. And we're not going to beat the Bucks this year. Or so, let's chill out. But it only one year.
I mean, I don't think anybody in this panel has expected more than maybe 500. I think that's realistic. More than that. Right. Nobody's expected more than that. And then some of us have expected them to at least make the play-in, which is a precursor to the playoff.
I guarantee playoffs. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and I too. I know 2.0 says playoffs. He questions it, and that's okay. You can question it, but that's what I do see. I mean,
he was going back to that football conference. Playoffs? What are you talking about? Playoffs?
Exactly.
But some of us were talking about 37 and even 40 wins, and so I think dreams.
Well, I don't know. I know.
You said 30.
I know. I said 35, 36 wins.
Which was 500. 36 is 500.
So whoever said 37, 40, okay, that's wishful thinking. I'll take that. But realistically, for me, I'll speak for myself. I said 35 to 36.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't give a damn about how many wins as long as we make the playoffs, because that's new life. Everything starts anew at playoffs. So playoffs is what I'm looking at, and I was hoping, 500 like you're saying, but I was hoping at least now that you got 10 teams making the playoffs, that we at least make the playoffs. Now that we got the team that we have, I'm expecting more than just the first level playoffs, but we got to do the work. We have to do the work. We got the team that has defense. We got to do the work.
And I think that's realistic.
And I think that the addition of Rose and Mitch coming back, and we having our center and our point guard by committee back on track, we are going to make a little noise. if we fall into the four, you know what I'm looking forward? I'm thinking about going to that game on Monday. I want to see them beat Miami. They need to beat Miami. They need to show Miami who we are today. Not that team that they beat us twice in a row over there about 5 weeks ago. So if we can show them something, then we put a little scare into their heart. The other thing is that the Bulls just picked up Vucevic. So now they got better.
They got Vucevic?
Yeah,
Woo.
that's what I'm telling you.
Woo.
We were gonna make
June
moves.
sent
We were
in,
gonna
June
make a
sent
move.
in his he sent in his prediction for the record. He says 37 and 35.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
okay.
But this is the thing with the Bulls. I mean, if they got Vucevic, that makes marketing that much more disposable, which could be an addition for
Maybe.
us.
Or makes them a stronger team.
True.
The thing is that I think one of us said it in the last thing, I know I heard it somewhere. We need to win every one of these games that we're supposed to win.
Okay.
37, because we're coming up against the West Coast teams, Clippers, Lakers, Jazz, Bucks again. Those are not necessarily winnable games.
Well, count the Lakers out, because as long as their two franchise players are out, they're just a regular team.
They've lost 4 in a row now.
Okay.
They're just a regular team.
I hope
So you can make that your easy game, or as they wanted to tease us last year on our court. It's one of those games for them.
Yeah, I forgot about that. We can smack them around a little bit. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Listen, Akil and I crunched the numbers after the game on Tuesday in terms of what amount of games are left and how many of those games are winnable to get to that 500 mark. And we were able to carve out 12 to 15 games. Okay? 12 to 15, that's the margin. A 3-game differential right there. If we hit, 13, we're going to be close to that 500 mark, because right now we're 22 and 22. But that's right there. That's in the ballpark. That's right in the ballpark. And those were looking at every single matchup and looking at, okay, which is a more winnable game than the others. And we counted minimum 12. Now, those 3 that we left hanging in the balance are games that could be, a 50-50 game.
Right.
Okay.
You talking about the LA games?
Not the Lakers. We accounted for the Lakers being a win against them because we know that LeBron is out. We know that AD is out. So we absolutely crossed them as one of our wins.
Okay.
The Clippers, that's a different story. I don't know. Did we play the Clippers again? I mean, twice already or not?
I think we played once.
We played them once.
We played them once. Okay. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. The Clippers, though, they still got their horses. So
yeah, they got their horses, but they don't have a point guard.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens today with the trading deadline. Because they may pick up a point guard.
They don't need.
They had in some interest in Ball.
Say it again.
I heard that the Clippers had some interest in Ball. So.
There you go. Oh, he might snatch them off of Ball.
Well, there's a lot of teams got interest in Ball, man. It all depends on who can afford it.
Yeah. No, who has the first round picks to trade for him?
Yeah, who can afford it?
Right. So
the Knicks can afford it, but are we willing to give up everything for it? I still think we need a big man. I like Mitch, but I think we need a big man.
Okay.
I think we got enough point guards right now. We just have them all hurt at the same time.
If you would have been at that game, you might have seen a big man.
I see traces of it, man, but I don't listen. I'm old school, like the birthday boy. Okay. Post up. Don't sit behind the backboard, because once you do that, the backboard becomes another player against you. Just like the out of bounds line is another player against you. You know, that's what I see. Now, yeah, alley oops, he the man. You can alley oop him all day, but you're gonna run into buzzsaws that's not gonna let you get that alley oop or gonna nudge him till he be underneath the backboard and can't get the ball. Then what are you gonna do? He got to be able to develop his own game from underneath the down low post where he can turn around, shoot the ball, turn around and dunk it on people. He's tall enough to do that.
Tell coach. Your coach is telling him, go and you stand in this spot here. They don't run plays for him. They don't even, I don't think they even developing him in that way.
But that's the problem. If you develop him that way, he can be the terror of the league. He can be another AD. He can be another AD. But you do not train him that way. And Lord knows, if he tell you can shoot a three, let the boy shoot a 3-1 game in a game situation. Let us all see it. Or prove him wrong. And tell him to shut the H up.
Yeah.
You know, we let you try it. You didn't do it. Shut the H up and start working on your footwork. And that Washington game was the game to let them do that.
Yeah, you could have, but again, he could have also been working a little harder on his inside game too.
That's what I'm talking about.
He could learn from Lopez about that baby hook.
He can learn from Lopez. He can learn from what's the name in oh man, in New Orleans. He can learn from them big boys. Them big boys to show you how to work down low. You know what's the name just got traded back out the West Coast, I believe. What's the name that was with the Lakers? Didn't he just get traded?
Yeah, he's on the Nuggets. What's his name? The big man.
JaVale McGee. He's with Denver.
JaVale McGee with the Nuggets.
McGee.
That was a good pickup for the Nuggets.
That was a good pickup for the Knicks.
That was real good pickup for the Nuggets.
That was a good pickup for the Knicks.
But yeah, that was a good one.
You think it could have been good for us, Bugs?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You need to teach the young boy how to play the low post. It ain't that he's going to be the impact player for us, but somebody need to teach this boy. He has too much talent not to teach him.
Right.
And the other thing is that you got to get somebody like McGee out there on him so he can get that laziness out of his brain sometime.
Okay.
You got to be hungry every time down court. You got to be hungry.
That's true.
He looked good. He looked good. I mean,
he looked good for a person coming back. I'm not going to say he looked bad. He looked good for a person coming back. He got
12. That's probably one of his better games of the season.
He's doing the same thing he's been doing all season, and we've lost with him doing that all season.
No,
how did they say it? We need a new you. We need a new you. We need a new you. We need to see you have a low post game where everybody has to back up and say, wait a minute, we can't just think about our man coming down with the ball. We got to think about the low post. Nobody thinks about the low post now, but to box him out behind the backboard.
They don't put him in the position to catch the ball in the low. You have nothing.
But that's my point. That's my point. That's what they need to be teaching. He's what, 7'2"? Come on, man.
You can't.
They got a high school dude coming out that's 7'2" that handles the ball like magic in high school right now. Come on, man.
Let's give him some time.
Let's start teaching this kid.
Let's see what happens in the next 35 games, man.
Yeah, let's see what happens. If he still has to say alley oops, and he has the greatest percentage because all he does is dunk, that don't mean jack. Because you can dunk, how they say, Westbrook will have 60 points and the team loses.
Yeah, but that's not our case.
Our case is
It's
he
a
does not
double
post. He does not post, and sometimes he's in good position for offensive rebound. How many offensive rebounds he had? 6.
I don't know. I don't have a stat.
Bill.
Bill. Offensive
Bill
rebounds
the dramas.
and putbacks.
Yeah, I mean, offensive rebounds for a big man is what I look for. Is what I look for. My guards, like I said, stop the fast break.
Right.
You know, those are the how you say it, the Park 101 rules. Guards stop the fast break. Big man handle the rebounds.
Okay.
You know, that's what I want to see. Our defense is good enough to do that. We see our defense is good enough to do that. Now we got to take it to the next level. We want to get to the next level of the playoffs.
Now, Akeem just put a message. Clippers trying to get George Hill.
Ooh. Ooh.
Indiana right now?
Ooh. George Hill can shoot with his eyes closed.
Now, come on, man. He's not the same old George Hill from before, man.
George Hill can shoot with his eyes closed.
Bill, you're muted.
Like JJ. JJ can, I don't care what you say about JJ. He can shoot with his eyes closed.
Mitch Robinson has 7 offensive rebounds.
How many offensive?
7.
7.
Boom. That turned into points or foul. He's only made one little stupid through it. He was too far under the basket, and he had nowhere to go, and he just threw it up.
Yeah, he was too. Even Walt Frazier said he was too far under the basket.
Right.
Well, he only shot 9 times and he made 7, so he had a good game.
That is efficient.
He had a good game. Let's keep that up.
Yes.
That was that. I haven't played in 5 weeks adrenaline.
That's only his first game back from the second game back from
the second game back.
The first game is just a feel for what's running up and down. Now,
but
you got to consider the competition again.
But understand, fellas, what I'm trying to talk about, and understand it in this level. When they taught Spartacus how to kill, they taught him how to kill one man, but it was not good enough. So they taught him how to kill 3. This is what I'm talking about with the Knicks and with Mitch and with the other players. Don't just teach them how to survive in the game. Teach them how to win the game. And these are the things. When you have a big smile on your face because you looked at that dude that's on you, and you know that when you get the ball in the low post, you're going to dunk the crap out of him. And you just smile or point at him as you go down court. That's what I'm talking about. Kill a mosquito with an axe.
Damn. Don't you smile, but don't point, because then you get tech.
Hey, I know I need therapy.
The fact that with his build and his height, he should be able to do a low post move that ends up in a dunking in somebody's face and pushing somebody 3 rows into the stands.
That's right. That's right.
But give it time. This kids are young. You understand? You want to jump from making the playoff to making noise in the playoff in the same year.
Well, we see that we have the team to do so. Now we're looking at the progression, and we have a team that could possibly do so. So, are we going to just be happy with what we got?
Well, we're going to be
even though we may not drive that big Cadillac.
Yes, diamond in the back, sunroof top.
I'd rather have the diamond in the back, sunroof top, than to be walking and waiting for the bus.
Yo, but listen, we have a Cadillac, okay? We just got to work on the engine a little bit, Engine needs work, but we got the Cadillac, bro.
Well, and let's work on the engine. But don't be happy just to have the Cadillac and not work on the engine.
Yo, that's what. Listen, you're talking to the preaching to the choir. I'm telling everybody, let's just enjoy the ride because let's go as far as this thing is gonna take us because it's gonna break down by the second round of the playoffs. Okay, it's gonna be.
I can't enjoy the ride, man. I can't enjoy the ride. We got to have a killer instinct. Killer instinct. You're not gonna enjoy the ride unless you win it all.
Journey,
you gotta always be hungry.
There was no way you were gonna feel this good about the Knicks last year.
Oh no, there's no way. I was telling you get rid of everybody.
That's right. The joy.
I was telling you get rid. Why was I telling you get rid of everybody? Because I want a team that's gonna win. I want a team that's gonna be there. I want a team to say, I don't know if we should play them in the playoffs. That's why you're right. We felt that way last year. But we also felt the way that we need to get rid of everybody and start anew and get a team in here that people will fear.
And that's what we did.
Yeah, but don't be satisfied with that. Stay hungry. Okay. Stay hungry, my friend. Stay hungry.
Hungry. But stay hungry doesn't mean necessarily revamp the team in mid-season.
You got some people who will start celebrating champagne just to break even.
Come on, man.
And you got some people who say, don't bring the champagne out until we win. It ain't just about breaking even. And that's what I'm talking about.
But that's all we got for this year.
Shoot.
You got to have a choice.
Shoot for the stars and hit the moon.
We're going to develop players or we're going to break it up and bring in all-stars. You want 3 all-stars in here right now and see what happens to that?
We can develop 3 all-stars with what we have. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Development. We got dudes that can rock the ball in this team. Right. I'm not saying they could be in the rucker, but I'm telling you that we got some dudes that can rock the NBA on this team.
Aaron Gordon. I got another alert from the Dream.
Aaron Gordon going to Boston.
No, to the Nuggets. So he's over there with the Nuggets is shoring up for this playoff run.
They're going for
it. The Nuggets are going to make some noise.
They're going to definitely make some noise if they got Aaron Gordon.
They got Aaron Gordon and JaVale McGee to back up the Joker.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, they're going.
They see that's what I'm talking about. They looking to win. That's what I call hunger.
But they
already had a solid core.
I understand that. We got a core. We got to add pieces to that core to take us to the next level.
Okay,
you know? And I love my boys to death, but we need moves. And something tells me we're not going to do any moves until this summer during the off season, which pretty much means we gave up on this season on doing anything but making the playoffs. That was our goal. We did that, and let's pop the bottles. I'm not satisfied with that.
Okay, and we shouldn't be, but we are satisfied with the fact that whatever additions were made, whatever changes were made, ended up in a better situation than before. Because last year, you would have been happy to even smell the playoffs.
True.
Get to the 11th spot, okay? Because we were what? We were the
15th. We were horrible.
We were the worst team in the league. I know that.
And we went from worst to 4th place, 3rd place in the East, in the Atlantic Division. 3rd place in the Atlantic
and dropped just as fast as we was in 3rd.
Because everybody else is 50%. That's why.
Because everybody's in the same basket right now.
So we just got to win ours. And
as they say, what do you do different that will make you more superior than the other people you're competing against?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for you right now, but I know that Boston.
That's the
Toronto-
question. That's the question when you have a bunch of teams that are packed in the same group, where you can go from second to ninth.
I'm gonna tell you what.
With one game.
Let me tell you what we do different. And you said it a little while ago. We are the team that nobody wants to play because we're gonna go out there and play some defense on your ass.
Oh, I know right now, the Nets are saying, well, as long as we got our three, we don't have a problem playing the Knicks. But the problem is, what if you don't have your three? Do you still want to play the Knicks?
They don't.
I don't think so.
They don't want to play the Knicks unless.
I don't think Boston want to play us if they don't have everybody. They already got rid of Smart.
Right.
Isn't Smart going to Miami?
I'm not sure.
I think I heard that. I think Dream did send that out. That Smart.
I didn't hear that
If
yet.
Smart
think I
going
heard
to Miami, Boston then gave up their heart and soul.
They were trying to get Gordon.
I know they were trying to get Gordon.
Okay, guys, let's look at it from this perspective. The last time we were in the playoffs was at the 2012-2013 season, right?
Right.
And we got knocked out in the second round.
Right.
By who? Boston?
Miami.
No, we got knocked out by the Pacers.
The Pacers.
By the Pacers. Was it Miami?
Yeah, the Pacers. No, it was the Pacers. Because I remember the big time, the block on Carmelo Anthony by their big man.
And that's the one that, he missed the shot at the end. Yes.
Right. Okay. So now, compare that team, that roster, and even coach, because we still got the coach here. Although he's an assistant, Woodson was the coach with that crew. Compare that team to this team. That team had better players. That team won 54 games that season. I think we did.
That team had better players, but at that time, you had a player that was killing you, which was Melo, because Melo was a one man gang force. Melo has learned that he's a part of a team now. He doesn't tell everybody shut the hell up, just give me the ball. Now it's a flow.
No, because coach that way back then. He wasn't like that. I mean, he was a better player. He was clearly the best player.
The guy was saying that in the locker room.
Don't say
just pass me the pill. Come on, man. Like I said, basketball is a team sport. You know,
he wasn't like that.
Jordan used to hit 60 a night on a losing occasion.
I think
60 a night, and they wouldn't win until they got Mr. Bill.
That particular season, we had Jason Kidd. Didn't we have Jason Kidd and who's the guy, the forward who got the ring with the Pistons? Oh man, we had those type of players. We had Melo, but then we had surrounding him. We had
Stoudemire, we had Melo, and Stoudemire was out most of the time.
Was hurt, but then we had what's his from the Portland Trailblazers, the technical foul master. He used to get technical fouls just coming, walking into the building.
Oh, you talking about balls don't lie?
Yeah, ball don't lie. I don't know why I can't remember this brother's name. One of the best to ever do it.
He came from Detroit with his boy.
He got a ring with Detroit, but he played most of his time in Portland.
Yeah.
Rasheed Wallace. We had Rasheed Wallace. We had old Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd just fell apart that season. Because I think he ended his career there, and from there he went to coach the following season.
He went to coach Brooklyn the following season. And he ended his career. I think he had missed like 10 straight layups. He was horrible at the end. But getting us there and all of that stuff, he was steady. He was shooting his three, and he was passing the ball around. But that crew, if you compare them to this crew, they had a better team.
Let me tell you.
Therefore, us getting into the playoffs, and even if we get knocked out first round, that has to be considered a milestone based on the fact that last crew, that was 8-9 years ago. and it may not seem as that long ago. That was 2012, 2013. We're at 2021 now. That was what, 8 seasons ago. So therefore, within those 8 seasons, we've had a couple of the worst seasons in New York Knicks history.
Oh, that's because you had Jackson pulling the rings, and he didn't care.
Listen, let me tell you. Let me call out the roster for that year. It was Carmelo Anthony, Rasheed Wallace, just the guys that are important. Raymond Felton, okay, Tony Douglas, Mike Bibby.
Damn.
See?
Who else? Pablo Pigioni, Marcus Camby, Steve Novak, Jeremy Lin, Tyson
Steve
Chandler,
is shoot with his eyes closed.
Baron Davis, and Iman Shumpert.
Shepard was just getting his wings underneath him. Best defensive player.
Yo, those guys are better than this team.
Exactly.
Those guys.
Exactly.
Hands down, they were better.
Yeah, man. Kurt Thomas.
Well, Thomas, all you had to do was get him mad until his eyes crossed. And once his eyes crossed, you know you're going to foul out the game.
Crazy eyes.
Yeah, that was the crew. So from that time to now,
they underperformed. That's a hell of a crew there, man.
That was a hell of a crew.
That's how I felt when they got knocked out in the second round. I mean, because
Shepard came out as a defensive player.
Right.
And then they got what's the name from Europe, and he came in to start throwing down dunks.
Yeah,
who's that? Porzingis?
No. What's the name that went to Cleveland with Shepard to get a ring with James?
Oh, yeah.
The big man?
No, shooting guard.
With Iman? Oh.
J.R. Smith?
Yeah. J.R. came from Europe towards the end of that season.
He was playing.
And he started shooting and dunking on people.
Yeah, he was playing in Japan.
Because that was Shepard's and JR's first year.
No, but he's not even on the squad. He came in the next year, I think.
No, they came in together.
J.R. Smith is there.
JR came in towards the end of the season.
Yep. I thought he was going to take us over the hump, man. But I guess they didn't, man. You know, sometimes you could have a bunch of good guys, but they don't mesh. And sometimes
that's true.
You got a bunch of hungry guys.
Who remembers World Be Free, Dr. J and McGinnis?
Okay.
In Philly together.
Okay. So it's about who wants it more, man. And I just like it, like if you keep these kids hungry enough to want to get some game time and to want to show somebody something, you know, but if you bring in a superstar and you sit them at the bench, boom, you stump their growth.
You know what I want to see, man? I want to see when we first lose the playoff game, I want to see tears come out their eyes. Because that tell you that they hurt and they really work towards this. I don't want to see smiles and, oh, we had a good season. Hell with that. We didn't have a good season. Right. Get back in the gym right now. Let's start working for next season. That's what I want to see.
I don't think we're going to be seeing smiling because Tisdale is gone. He was that type. Like, you know, we'd be losing and he's over there. He's smiling as if, you know.
He's smiling because he has a fine wife. That's what he's smiling about.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Now back to tonight's game. What are we looking for? What are we looking for?
We're looking for another win.
More of the same. They ain't got nobody to contend with U-Haul. Okay.
Nope.
Nobody to stop him. But I would like to see him start by going to the basket this time. Don't start with those threes again because threes is fool's gold. You have it one night and you don't the next. But
well, he's smart enough to know. He's smart enough that say if he starts out tonight, shoots his first 2 to 3 shots as a 3, based on his efficiency, he'll either continue if he's 3 for 3. then we're gonna see number 4. If he's 0 for 3, he'll go to the basket, or let somebody else shoot it. He's a smart player.
Yeah, but
He's not gonna
let the
force feed
R
us.
do the same thing now.
R is you're talking like R is your second option.
R is the second option, so R got to do the same thing. If you're not hitting the threes, it's time for bully ball and come inside. He has a mid-range shot, so take
I had
it.
to mute myself there.
Yo, Bugs.
Yeah.
Bill and Santana do not believe that R is a second option.
R is the second option, unfortunately.
He's supposed to be, but we say we do not have a consistent second option. He's not.
The second option could be Burt. Second option could be Peyton.
No, but now, which is where Henry now 2.0, he says we have a second option by committee, the Killer Bees.
Yeah.
Bullock and Barrett.
Yeah. He's right.
Thank you.
Okay. So we'll leave it at that. But Barrett is not a consistent second option, not yet. Hopefully,
but Barrett scoring is 20 or more points a game, so you gotta give him his due. He's not his boy Williams.
That's recently 20. I read his stats. He averages 17.
17. That means 25 and 1 night he gets 15.
But then of the Killer Bees, you know that Bullock, he averages 9. So
Bullock is strictly for defense, man. You know that.
But according to 2.0, he has to score double figures.
Yes.
All 3 of them have to score in double figures in order to give us a viable second option.
You're absolutely right. The problem is you're not going to get that out of the 3 of them. Not consistently. Not
Exactly.
Well, it's been consistent enough the last 6 games. If you go back to the last 6 games, they're all in double figures. There may be one game when Bullock maybe had 9. Okay.
Okay.
They're average. They hitting the 2 double digit, man. If I could get 12 to 15 out of Bullock and Burks, and get 20 out of Barrett, I'm good. That's a second option from my shooting guard. That's my shooting guard, right? And if I get my 15 from Elf, and if I get my 15 from Rose, that's my point guard giving me 30 points, right?
Right.
And then if my forward gives me 28 points and 12 rebounds and 8 assists, I got my power forward. So my center is just going to give me 15 points between the 2 of them, 7 points each, and maybe 15 rebounds, 7 rebounds each. What else do you want?
I want the ring. I want the ring.
No. Don't go there.
You asked me what else do I want?
I want to be able to look at one player in that 4th quarter give him the ball. He's going to get us a bucket because franchise has carried us all the way to the 4th quarter.
And then I need a sweet Lou to end it.
Exactly. We need somebody that we can rely on to end it.
Sweet Lou is not coming this way, fellas.
Oh, we know he ain't leaving the West Coast. But I'm just telling you, we need a player like Sweet Lou to finish the game. We let the franchise take us all through the game, and trust me, he's gonna get burnt out the same way LeBron James is burnt out. And we need somebody who's gonna finish the game. We need a finisher. We need for you just hang out on the wing in case we need you. But we got a Sweet Lou of our own that's gonna finish this game for us.
And by the end of the year, that is going to be. See that number?
I hope so.
Look.
From your voice to the coach's ears.
You see that? Number 9.
9 what?
No, R.J. Barrett.
The aura.
Like, you enjoy that? But
Hey, he has the green light. He has the green light.
it's like number 6 says, I'm gonna turn those gears to cheat.
I tell you the other thing that's helped us is both of them are lefties.
They're lefty, man. You can't stop that kid going to the basket. He never gets stopped going to the basket, going to the left. Never has and never will. People don't know how to handle left-handed ball players.
And one thing I got to give him credit for, he also finishes well with both hands.
Well, when
Yes, he does.
turns to the right,
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he does.
Dexterous.
But that's why I said he had to get away from the three and start playing bully ball.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's his game. You know, you start throwing that shoulder into people, moving them out your way when they down low. Once they inside that little ring, hey, there is no offensive foul. Take them.
Mm-hmm.
Take them. Eat the meat off the bones. Take them.
And Randall needs to do the same thing too, man. You know, when you see them boys down there live, he got the biggest, broadest shoulders on the floor.
Oh, he definitely worked out in the gym. You can tell. You can look at his shoulders and look at his arms. He's definitely been working out. Now utilize it. But again, you don't want to burn Randall out. Randall has to take you through the game.
Right.
You need two consistent finishers in case one's off.
Okay.
And as I said before, anytime that you in that block, yo, throw that ball. Don't look to finger drop layup all the time. Yo, it's okay to miss the dunk. Get the foul.
Right.
And learn to shoot foul shots.
Well, any predictions for tonight's score?
Yeah.
What you got?
I'm gonna.
Let me write mine down. The last one was what? 131 to
113.
to 113, right? So we got about what was it? An 18-20 point win?
18.
18-point win.
Yeah.
They're gonna come out hungry. They're gonna come out to gain some respect. Those boys are they want to score 60 between the two of them, but then that means everybody else doesn't score anything. Hopefully, and they can't stop us inside. What you got?
I got 122 to 106 New York. We're gonna beat them by 16 this time.
Score that much again, huh?
Yeah. Why not? Why not? We at the crib, ain't we?
We at the crib.
Yeah.
117, 104.
Ooh, 104. So you still got a 13-point win.
Yeah. Double digit win. But very, very close double digit.
Okay. I say 110 to 90. Okay.
110, 90 what?
98.
Okay. So that's 12.
Yeah, we're gonna play even better defense on them. Okay, and so we're about the same all around. Wow. I wish I could have gone to this game too, because like I said before, we needed to win the first game so that we can go in there, that we can beat them boys, and we did.
Well, at the same time, you need to study what the other players are doing and see if it's like chess. You gotta know if they're gonna change anything on you. What is it they're gonna change? What weaknesses do they have in their game that you know they're gonna work on? Because they're gonna come out and try to exploit your weaknesses in their game.
Okay. Any last thoughts? Any last let me see. No more, nothing more on the trade deadline.
Last thoughts. There's no earth-shattering moves that the Knicks are gonna make before this hour and a half is left.
Let me check the trade mill real quick.
You can check all you want to.
Real quick.
Well, the problem is that earth-shattering move can make it earth-shattering for us. Instead of making us better, they could make us Worse.
Well, not earth-shattering. Just put me on their bench and sit me there.
Oh, okay.
So I'm saying anything that's earth-shattering that's going to make the other teams in the East look at them, it's not going to happen with this trade deadline.
So who do you consider earth-shattering for us?
Right now, for us,
Melo.
Drummond,
Drummond.
J.J. Watts. Not J.J. Watts.
JJ Watts.
JJ Redick.
Yeah,
I'd rather JJ Watts. I'd rather JJ Watts than JJ Redick.
I'm going to put J.J. Watts underneath on the low post.
I'd rather.
Who's going to mess with that?
No. Well, where I was going, I'd rather JJ Watts to the Giants than JJ Redick to the Knicks. I'd rather JJ Watts to the Giants.
Well, I was shocked that the Giants didn't go after him, but that's another sport. J.J. Redick, Drummond.
Drummond is a rental for 1 year. Because who wants
Yep.
$30 million?
$30 million for 1 year.
No, I'm not gonna give him. I don't give him nothing for this year. I give him maybe 15. He's not bad for Drummond.
For Drummond, yeah, I'm not feeling the same about Drummond for whatever reason. I don't know. But did you guys?
The same about your boy in Houston. That's the boy that stay hurt. Why am I going?
Yeah, we don't want him. We don't want him. I don't think we're gonna get him. I don't think they're gonna even mess with him.
No.
Now, one guy we were talking about, Evan Fournier, and Celtics got him for 2 second-rounders.
Yes, I heard that.
Wow.
Now I'll take Cat from Detroit. Let him come back to Jersey.
You mean from Minnesota?
From Minnesota, I mean.
Yeah.
Let him come back to Jersey.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely will.
But that's going to happen in the off season.
In off season,
not now.
No, that's an off-season move.
That's an off-season move. But right now, we still got we could be in the Melo ball camp.
Yeah.
Well, I like LaMelo. I like all three of the ball boys. To be honest, I think they were taught right how to be point guards, and that's something that you need. But I think that we have point guards. We need a big man. I keep saying that we need an enforcer. Let's put it that way.
Right. Somebody in the middle to.
We need an enforcer.
Charles Oakley or Xavier McDaniel.
There you go. Who messed with Oak? Man, people were so scared of Oak.
Not James Dolan.
Whoa, he knew he had security. Security.
Dolan said, "Get him out of here."
Please. He was just another, what do they call him, Janice?
Sixers what? Say that again.
George Hill.
Sixers got George Hill?
I just got a text from the Dream.
They got a shooter.
That was a good pickup for them.
Any shooters are good pickups right now.
We don't need all them. George Hill is 40 years old, man.
Yeah, that's true. He is old. So he wouldn't be a long-term solution for us.
We don't need nobody to come and try to save us some more. Stick to the youth program, man. Trust the process.
Yeah, that's what they said in Tampa Bay. Look what happened.
Well, they brought in what's his name?
The GOAT.
I'll take JJ Redick and Hill.
If Michael comes out of retirement, I'll grab him in a minute.
You can have Mike. Mike is eating too many steaks in his restaurant right now.
Oh, okay. What else? That's it.
Yeah, I got no more.
Yeah.
I told you it's gonna be blank.
It's okay.
You're gonna hear crickets.
We don't need nothing.
We need a lot.
We need a lot.
Don't fool yourself.
We need a lot. but we can't get crazy and start.
We're not gonna get anything right now, but we need a lot.
We need Cat in the offseason. That's who
Well,
we.
the only way to do that is to keep our picks and keep our money.
That's right. That's what we do, man. So we are going after the Dominican. It's gonna be DP, Dominican Power, in the center, so you can throw the ball down low to somebody, and he's gonna teach Mitchell how you do it, and he can do it from the outside.
I hear you.
So that's the first thing we're gonna do. We're gonna address that. Forget about it. Like you said, we got guards, point guards, but we could do better because
Right.
Rose is not getting any younger, and Elf is not gonna get any better. So we need.
Y'all can talk about my boy Peyton all you want to. I'll keep him.
I keep him.
I'll keep him.
Like I said,
I'll keep him.
he's good, but if
I even like Rivers, but Rivers can go. Rivers
got
been babysitting too long to come back to the league now.
he can't do nothing for us, man. Rivers can't do nothing for us.
There's nothing Rivers can do right now. He's been
We might be able to
away
get
too long.
Somebody may want to get him, and we may be able to get a second-round pick for him.
Give him with Ntilikina and Knox to the Pelicans for Ball and a second-round pick. How do I sound?
Hey, listen, you talking about new school? I just thought of something.
I want
got nothing to say about Paul when you talk about new school and old school, because he brought Phoenix back on the map.
EP3, I would have taken him last year, man. I would
Yeah, definitely. He's the one that I wanted out of everybody, and I was down to give him his $40 million, whatever.
Because Chris Paul, he's insured.
Yeah, well, okay, guys, I'm gonna have to jump off here now.
All right,
close us out.
Again for joining us, Bugs. Good to see you again, Bill. And as we say when we close out, once a Nick,
always
a Nick.
Hey, thank you. Talk to you during the.
All right,
guys.
Go take out the pom-poms, brother. They're gonna need them today.
All right, they're on deck.
Oh man, let me go see if they can take it for Monday's game.
Later.